All right, here we are back after that match from Performance versus Andromeda, and we're about to see the losers bracket finals match here. Rival and Andromeda, Rival just having been knocked out of the winners bracket by DefkoN, so the winner here will get to go take a crack at DefkoN, though they'll be up against a massive hard cliff to climb, because DefkoN has to lose 2 times to get knocked out of the tournament, and this whoever is the winner here will have to only lose once. So, without further ado, here is Tilt Alan D'Onofrio to give you the lineup and his prediction.
Well, I don't really know all the lineups because they're all in here. We've seen a lot of Andromeda today, and I mean, they've been playing really well. They've not had really any faults. They've been playing really well on Black Sept. They played really well on Canon against Performance, and then when they played against Wild Play as well. And we know Rival knows DefkoN very well, as they've met in the finals, I think the last 2 CGOs. And it doesn't really seem to matter if they beat DefkoN in the winners bracket finals or if they end up going to the losers bracket and making it to the finals. DefkoN just happens to just constantly beat them. We've seen DefkoN come back from the losers bracket and beat Rival twice before, and not to get too overshadowed as far as what's going to happen in the future, there's a huge test right now for Rival against this Andromeda team who's been playing really solid all day. I mean, a lot's going to matter on what map gets played here, but I mean, I see Andromeda giving a really good fight here to Rival. I haven't seen too much of Rival, but I mean, a lot of big names already coming into the room. So depending on the map, I think there's going to be a really interesting balance on both teams here and how they decide to play.
Definitely. And Seismic has confirmed what we talked about earlier in the day, that he is retiring after this CGO. So we do wish him the best after the CGO, and I guess we wish both teams good luck here.
So what happens when you retire from the CGO? Do we retire the number like they do in football or something?
Well, I guess he doesn't have a jersey, but we can retire his name for all eternity.
I'm going to ask him right now.
Hang up number 99 in the I don't know, we don't have a sports dome here at CGO, but maybe we can all hang it up in our individual rooms.
Just put it on in just a plaque.
Here lies Seismic.
Off the bat, Supply and Airplane getting banned. Haven't really seen either of those maps, the 2 new ones, the newest ones at least, for the AVA updates. It'd be kind of exciting to see. I mean, I've heard a lot of talk about Airplane being a pretty excellent map as far as just the build of it goes, but I think people are just a little too fresh on it still. But it looks like it's being between Black Sept, India, and Canon. We'll see exactly what happens. We've seen both Black Sept and Canon today. It'll be interesting to see India. Again, all those maps are very heavy push-based, so definitely going for those strategies more than anything else, it looks like, on both sides. I
would think from Andromeda's perspective, after seeing Rival 2 weeks ago at that CGO, Black Sept's probably their weakest map. That's what I'd try to go for Rival. Excuse me, if I were Andromeda, try to get Rival to play on Black Sept, because I know Andromeda just knocks it out of the park every time they play that map.
I mean, yeah, from what we've seen of them so far, that's definitely not their weakest map. So, I mean, if that is a strategy they can deploy right now, yeah, I would love to play Black Sept too if I was Andromeda. They did a really good job overall, and it looks like Rival will have the pick, I think, since they are the higher seed right now. But
they are, and looks like a little bit of debate about how the bans are going. But, I mean, Rival got 6-0'd to DefkoN twice on Black Sept 2 weeks ago, or last CGO. So I'm betting that they don't want to play there again.
Yeah, but I mean, from what we've seen from DefkoN, I mean, that team is just prepared. Obviously, going into not nationals, internats here in a little bit, actually. But I mean, they've been doing their workload on Black Sept. That's a big map that they've played a lot, at least last year in the international tournament. We know how that went. They like to really dance around the map until they have to perform, just to get a feel of what everyone's doing. I'm not sure if either of these teams have the flexibility to dance around right now to see how they're going to be playing this. But as we know, Rival has been playing DefkoN a lot lately. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they decide to go black set on this. Even though Andromeda's been playing really well in it, I mean, it's probably what's going to be up in the finals if they do make it past Andromeda. But I mean, as we're still sitting here, it looks like we got Canon. Looks like it's going to be the map. So we'll see exactly how it works. Andromeda did let up quite a number of rounds there when they were on defense. I mean, they played consistently, but they just had some faults over at 1 and some faults in the rush defense of 2. So I mean, we'll see how Rival decides to play. Seismic is readied up, or he's the host, but he does have an SMG readied up. And then Lee with that scope, very, very good scope. So we'll see exactly how they decide to play it. I mean, what do you expect individually out of some of these performers today, Absolute?
Well, we did see earlier on in the tournament yesterday, Lee going massive against Heat, absolutely smoking with that FR that he uses. Definitely a player to watch here. And we did just see Andromeda play here as well. Myth getting some good picks, but I think based on how Lee played the other day, Lee might actually be the better scope in this instance, and we'll see how that plays out. I know Canon, with that scope, getting those mid picks is so important, and getting those picks up from the bookshelf site to 1, definitely very important. So I want to see how that sniper war plays out.
Yeah, and as you saw, I mean, Roxanne didn't really step up to where Myth's level was in the scoping on this map, but I mean, those sniper picks have been huge as far as how the outcomes of individual rounds happen. So I mean, we'll see exactly how it works out again, as we've seen Lee done a really good job so far. So I think that battle there between Myth and Lee is going to be pretty decisive as far as who ends up coming away with this match.
Definitely, definitely. And Seismic usually plays a Varesk here, so we'll see exactly where he decides to rush, if so. And I think he usually decides to play 2. They are on offense, however. We go live here. And
it should be big for them to, or not them. It should be big for Andromeda to have a good stand here, being the underdogs as they are right now against a very strong rival team. As it looks like they're completely unprepared for this 2 rush. Although Myth does get the first pick, not going to make much of a difference as they are into 2 right now. So Rival making a strong foothold into 2. Lee's going to watch that cross across the backside of the bomb site. See exactly how they play out. Bomb is down here, so it's going to be a defensive stand right now for Rival, as it looks like Andromeda's getting a good full enclosure of this bomb site as there's tons of nades going over and over. You're going to try to weaken up and soften up this defensive stand here from Rival.
T gets a double kill out of it. Usually when you're 3-stack inside of the site, you're going to go down pretty quick. But an amazing play, throwing a ton of smokes there. T gets 2 picks out of the smoke, and then they gang up on the rest of Andromeda there as Andromeda tries to rotate and take that back. Really good play by Rival defending that 2 site, even with 3 men trapped inside that area of 2.
Yeah, and I got my focus on T right now as I'm watching him come across the 1 site. I mean, he did a great job just kind of playing through smokes here. And with that para, as we know, it's about a 4 or 5 shot kill if you don't hit just chest. If you hit the chest and the head, it's about 2 shot, 3 shot kill. So him just kind of bursting through that smoke and the different corners is just what held on there for as far as their defensive stand goes. We saw him go down early right there, and he did actually drop the bomb, as it looks like Become and Lee are going to have to work their way around to get back to this bomb. I don't think that Andromeda knows the bomb is down yet, though. So there's a lot of cross nades coming across as this 5-on-3 situation here in favor of Andromeda.
Yeah, Seismic farting around in their 2 connector. Myth doesn't notice him, and he doesn't notice Myth either. Serial's going to come around the corner, probably see him, maybe not, but that C4 is down right in front of 1. Seismic has a good flank should he choose to use it. Surreal not really anywhere close to the action, going generator, possibly trying to go through spawn here, exchanging bullets. Seismic's the worst of it.
You know, the way he was playing, that was actually really smart, though. I mean, obviously they needed to get the bomb, and the rotate was probably going to happen to 2. So Seismic sitting in that connector, trying to play the eyes and ears for his other 2 teammates is a really smart strategy for him, especially having the SMG and the quick corners that were around the area he was at. Just smart, just using the map to his advantage as much as he can, as it looks like the focus is going to be 1 here. Gravity and Will Smith are right inside the bomb. I got to imagine that Gravity heard Seismic change guns there. Not that it matters, because he's trounced there by Lee. So it looks like Lee's going to back up a little bit here. Watch the spawn. He will get Kimpa there in the shot. And here comes the take of one. BeCome will get the kill on Will Smith 5, leaving it just to Surreal now. 1-on-3 situation. He's late on the backside flank. Lee is right there. Does miss the shot. But I don't know if there's really going to be much that he can do here. Surreal have a lot of work to do getting into the bomb site here. He does have full HP though, so we'll see exactly how he decides to work this up. He's going to elect to take a few shots onto Lee. Will not finish him off, and that'll do it with just overpowering force there in numbers. There from Rival taking a 2-0 lead on offense. So what do you think is just different from this Andromeda team right now? We saw them play so well on defense against Performance last match. Something's different. I can't really tell what it is. What is your opinion right now? Absolutely.
Well, the way I'm looking at it, Andromeda had that last round, but the dark horse there was Lee coming around the corner after Gravity got you heard it. He got sound baited by that gun switch, and he just was surprised by Lee actually instead of a rifle coming around that corner, and so that. By synchronizing their action there, Rival was able to take that over. And they just did the same thing again. Rival has taken over the bomb site, 3-on-1 again against Surreal. Surreal's taken out Su Min, but he gets removed from the equation by becomes M4. Real good snipe there. Now 3-0 for Rival.
Yeah, 3-0 for Rival is a big spot for them to be, especially on offense. I mean, they have to feel pretty confident in their defensive ability on this map. I would have to imagine the offense was going to be their challenge against Andromeda, but Andromeda really not putting much of a fight. I think they're getting a little surprised with just how flexible Lee is moving around the map right now. I mean, you think he's going to come in first, and here comes a rifle, and then there's other times you think he's going to back up and play passive, and then here he comes around the corner. So, I mean, there's really not much you can do against that. But we'll see exactly what happens here as far as Rival pushing around. They're playing this a little bit more passively as they have Lee and BeCome coming up the middle, trying to work on Rival, or on Myth here, who's putting his pressure on Rival, rather.
Will Smith comes around the corner, getting Lee. Both scopes are down now, so it's a rifle war. 3-on-2, now 2-on-2 now. Will Smith, Kimpa gets BeCome in the middle. Kimpa and Will Smith, very high health, versus Su Min. Su Min gets the bomb out of 2, jets away with it. He's going to see Kimpa right there. Kimpa's going to see him. He's going to back off the generator here.
Yeah, I don't think he quite anticipated that little jump. You can hear Kimpa running around over there from that connector, but I don't think he really anticipated that jump. A few pre-fire shots have been huge there for him, as Kimpa is sitting around 75% of his health right now.
Kimpa gets most of Su Min's health down. Su Min takes him out, but Will Smith's got full, and Su Min's about one shot. Rotating as fast as he can to one. Nope, he stops in spawn, takes stock of things, and decides to walk it. Will Smith all the way across the map at the generator.
And this isn't even an epic gunfight either way. I mean, Su Min can definitely pull this off with as little health as he does have. As long as he has the first shot on Will Smith, I mean, he can definitely win this gun battle and take up a really huge clutch for his team right here, putting up a 4-0 spot right now if they do pull off this round against Andromeda. So, interesting play. 30 seconds left on the clock. Looks like Su Min's going to focus over to 1. Really doesn't have a clue where Will Smith is right now, though, I think.
Well, again, getting to the bomb site's one hurdle, but the even bigger hurdle, in my opinion, is after he sets that bomb, it's Will Smith's going to have most of an idea of where he is, and he does only have 1 health. He's going to be able to set the bomb with Will Smith none the wiser, over at 1. But now comes the hard part. Will Smith's going to rotate. He's going to know Su Min has to be close, and he's going to know Su Min is lit.
And look at Su Min playing this really passively, playing the backside of the bomb here. And interestingly enough, I kind of wish I had seen Will Smith rotate earlier, as there are the first shots for Su Min with the clutch, finishing out that 4th win on those round counts, 4-0. But yeah, I mean, when Will Smith is sitting with that little time around 2, he would have to figure he could hear a bomb being planted or running going on. I would have liked to see him rotate faster, just so Su Min didn't have enough time to get around to that backside corner. Not the case, though, as there's an early trade over here, over at 2, as there's going to be a quick rotate from Andromeda. It looks like they're a little bit caught right now as far as just how they're playing their bomb sites. They're rotating fast. This is going to leave a lot of doors open actually right now for Rival, as they are faking the push and moving all the way back around to 1. And Kimpa's going to be the only one over there defending that 1 bomb site, as the majority of Andromeda has rotated all the way over to 2 already.
They were almost baited into the rotate, but Rival couldn't get away quickly enough to solidify Andromeda's holes in the defense. So now it's back to kind of a one stalemate. Kimpa's going to see most of the guys around. Will Smith's going to come over to back him up, but Kimpa is trapped now. He cannot get away. But it doesn't matter. He gets T for the trouble. 3-on-3 now. Sumin having taken him out to avenge T.
You know, that's actually a really big play there from Kimpa, knowing he really doesn't have a choice but to stand his ground and do as much damage as he could. The fact that he did trade a kill there is pretty huge for him, and it does actually end up slowing down this rival team from getting a full push there. Because then you're left with a 4-on-3 situation instead of the 3-on-3 situation they have right there. So, I mean, you look at a lot of young teams, a lot of younger players that are looking to be at this level. Definitely keep that in mind. I mean, that's the little things that make a big difference in the long run. If you know you're trapped up, I mean, it'd be better just to sit there and just rely on your gunning skill rather than running away and just get caught in the back. So really smart play there by Kimpa. Even though he did fall, he did get that trade kill, which is pretty huge. Even though Lee does take up gravity there, leaving it now with a 3-on-2 situation. Myth and Will, last one's up for Andromeda. They desperately need a round here. I mean, being down 4-0, we're sitting with about 38 seconds left in the clock. Rivals have to make their move here pretty shortly, but it's going to be interesting to see how they decide to pull this.
Will Smith doesn't manage to get any significant shots in, and on the rotate, Lee gets Myth there, making it 5-0 for Rival.
That's huge. I mean, it's those little things. That's what it comes down to. I mean, the score says 5-0, and people will look at this and be like, man, Andromeda's really getting their butts kicked. But it's not really the case. I mean, they're putting up a pretty good fight. They're just getting just a little bit outmatched in certain situations. Looks like Myth has actually decided to drop the scope as he's sitting at 1-6, not really having an alternative right now, as he did go down first in this round. And looks like they're almost pretty much doomed right here on defense, as Rival is planning inside of 2, although they do get 2 good picks there. So, I mean, life still is available right now for Andromeda. It's a 3-on-2 situation. Bomb is down. Rival's chilling inside of the bomb site, and a lot of those bomb call-outs from the grenades will help them determine where exactly Sumin and T are sitting, as it's just down to Sumin now. He's doing a good job playing around this bomb site, though. Did not get anyone there, though, which is pretty huge. Will Smith will easily defuse this bomb, and that's a big round right there for Andromeda when you look at how this game has been going for them so far.
Definitely. Let's hope that Andromeda, I haven't seen too much of how they deal under pressure, but let's hope this turns the tide of the morale, and let's hope they can use that to mount some sort of a comeback here.
And again, just looking at how that round finished off, I mean, again, Andromeda finished that round with 3 players up. When you looked at Gravity and Kimpa, they were both sitting with fractions of HP left. So, I mean, it just comes down to that one extra shot, really, or just hitting the chest instead of the leg. It's really what it's been coming down to this whole game. I mean, it's been really, really close. It's just not capitalizing as much as Andromeda can. Just missing that one extra shot is costing them rounds. I mean, that's what happens when you meet really good teams. I mean, the gunning skill might be a little bit more in favor of Rival right now, but I wouldn't say it's anything substantial, as there's just a lot of good crossfire, a lot of good pre-fire coming across, a lot of action across the map right now, as looks like Rival's going to have a good hold on 1 here, as they're a 5-on-3 situation, make that a 4-on-3, as Will Smith is coming to help out on the rotate.
Myth and Gravity both get taken out there. Will Smith, the only one alive, misses. Some shots are missed on him, but he will get put down, and that's 6-1 for Rival. That's the halftime.
That's absolutely huge for Rival right there, having that much of a foothold on a map like Canon. I mean, Canon is definitely one of those offensive maps, but I mean, I don't think it's nearly as offensive as a map like Black Sun is, where pushes are a lot more one-sided, and it's a lot harder to cover. I mean, again, like I said, this has been a pretty close match, maybe not in score, but just in fact of how the numbers are left at the end of the rounds. But right there, I mean, Myth has got to be frustrated. I mean, I usually don't see him drop a scope unless he's really feeling frustrated, so that definitely doesn't help the balance of that team over there for Andromeda. But we'll go to commercial real quick here as we come back again for the second half Canon Loser Brackets final between Andromeda and Rival.
Holy crap. I did not expect that.
Me neither.
I cannot believe before the game, Myth was like, we got All right, guys, we're back. Myself, Obsolete, and Tilt. It is halftime in this first game out of the best of three, Rival versus Andromeda in the finals of the loser bracket. And I will remind you, the winners need to go, or excuse me, they get to go on to the straight grand finals with DefkoN. So the loser of this, if Andromeda does lose this, they will not be completely out of it, as it is a best of three. What do you make of that game so far, Tilt?
You know, it's just kind of backwards to see Andromeda just on the downside, just completely on the downside as far as the rounds go. I mean, those first few rounds were close. They were going either way, just in different directions. I mean, Rival did get off to that 4-0 start, and I mean, that's huge as far as momentum goes. And I think that's the biggest killer right now. I think that Andromeda let that get to their head a little bit. They really let them affect that. They're letting Rival take them over a little bit more mentally. Because just straight up looking at the skill and how players were left at the end of the match, there was a lot of lit up players at the end. I mean, they don't really know that for sure, but I mean, it does come down to just one or two more bullets, or just having a little bit more fire on that pre-fire that they used so well against Wild Play and Performance in the last two matches. I think they just got a little frustrated, to be honest. I mean, we saw Myth switch over from the scope. He's definitely not as strong with the assault rifle as he is with the scope. And it wasn't like Rival was really pushing any harder than any of our teams we've seen so far. As far as the Performance is pushing really quick, and I mean, Seismic making his presence felt a little bit more with that SMG, and I think that really took just a downgrade in morale there for Andromeda. I mean, I think they still need to just have a good showing here. I mean, it's probably not likely that they're going to win this half of the map. I mean, they're definitely not going to be able to wipe them out, having a clean sheet of 6-0 to win the match overall. Maybe get an overtime if they can go 6-1. I still would be surprised if that happens. I mean, I think they just need to get some momentum built up for them. I mean, I wouldn't give up quite yet on this map. I think they can put up a good show right here, and maybe just trying to turn some of that mental energy across into Rival's head and be like, oh, we don't have them as much as we thought we do. But, I mean, it's going to take a lot of effort and a lot of energy from this Andromeda team. They're going to have a lot of life coming into the second half for sure.
Definitely, and I think you're right. They're probably, I mean, they have to come back a lot to be able to beat Rival here. I think they should just worry about getting a little bit more calm, worrying about the next maps. Definitely try to get some of that morale swinging back in their way instead of just losing their cool over a Canon loss. And to be honest, I think Canon is Rival's best map.
Yeah, I mean, and we even heard Myth say they don't want to play in Rival on Canon, and lo and behold, this is where we're sitting right now. But Black Set and India are the only two maps that are available, and then we saw Andromeda play really well in Black Set. So, I mean, if I'm Myth right now, I'm going to be telling my team, like, let's settle down. Let's just get back into a swing of things, how we know how to play this game. Let's not worry so much about the map. It doesn't matter who we're playing. Let's just do what we know how to do. Get back in this game little by little, and then maybe just turn things around and just get the fire going when we move on to a different map. I mean, they have at least two more maps to play, or at least one more map to play, if they do somehow come out of nowhere and get a miracle on this map. I don't really see it happening right now. Rival has so much of a foothold on this map as far as how they're moving around. They did a really good job pulling out different plays from their playbook. So, but I mean, if you're Andromeda, you can't let this get you too down. I mean, you got to come out swinging right now, definitely.
Definitely, and you know, I'm going to remind us again. This is a best of three. This is the second half of the first match. Of the first map, Canon, and Andromeda is down 6-1 to Rival here. So they have a lot to do before they can come back in this round.
Yeah, it looks like Myth is going to stick with the assault rifle. Gravity will pick up the scope, as we did see him actually do pretty well. I mean, when he picked up the scope at the later point of Performance's match, or the match with Performance rather, it looks like off the bat they're going to go heavy. They're just going to go hard and just really push their way into one here. They didn't really quite get around the corner though, and T's going to hold off that push by himself. Lee is now there to help out, so I mean, the crossfire through the smoke, not really doing as much work as I would hope. They do hold off the flank really well, so they're still in a good spot here. 4-3 as far as numbers go in favor of Andromeda. Gravity kind of playing the flank, Will Smith with the bomb. It looks like they're going to try to just work their way across. Great shot there by Lee, too. Just through the smoke on Kimpa. Definitely changing everything there. Myth being the last one left. 1-on-2 situation. it's actually really fun to watch Lee and T play this together. I don't know who we're spectating right now from Ink's point of view. I'm imagining he's probably watching Myth. T's with very little HP, but one thing I love to see there is T was coming across the backside of 1 there, and Lee was originally watching that backside, that back hallway, and he sees T moving, so he changes his point of view almost immediately. It's just really good game sense, knowing exactly where your teammates are and what they're watching, and just having a sense of confidence and just knowing exactly how your teammates play. It's just so huge to watch. Myth right now is moving his way back up towards 1. Lee is all the way back by the flanking side of their spawn. T does see him right there, though. It's going to be interesting to see how Myth decides to play this. T kind of creeping his way around right now, though.
As Myth moves in, I want to take the time to discuss something. For all you new teams out there, that team chemistry is probably the most important thing. Because if you know how your teammates are set up, and you know them well, and you know where they're going to look, you can try to play anything, and you can honestly do fairly well against great teams. And it only comes with practice and time, so don't get discouraged if you don't do so well. Myth has killed T, and he is alone against Lee. Lee's picked up a para.
Man, Lee was so smart right there. He just kind of fake sprinted all the way across towards the right hall, which is where Myth is looking right now, and it's actually on the backside. That's just good play right there. Completely faking out Myth just by doing the sound play. It's good play from Lee overall. Just really smart play. I'm actually really impressed with that.
Definitely quite good. Really close. Rival pulls it out, and they only need 1 more round win, I believe.
Yep, 1 more round, and they can walk away from this map having a substantial, just demoralizing performance right now. As it looks like, look at this, they're just coming straight up the gun here on 1 side. Myth and Kemp are going to run their way up to 2, but at what cost? It's right now, it's a 4-on-3 situation. Will Smith gets taken out by Become, and it's just going to be bad news here. Myth will get the bomb down, but a 4-on-2 situation, just a very diverse makeup right here. As Become has a scope, and so does Lee. So 2 scopes up right now. Myth and Kemp are in a hell of a spot right now.
Lee picks Myth out of it. Kemp is the only one left, and he is outside. Really interesting glitches in first-person spectate, but Kempa drops a 3-bomb, runs in, and with plenty of time, T is able to defuse it. Not sure I agree with Kempa's decision to run in there, but really nice nonetheless. He was in a bind, and he did well regardless.
It's just actually really funny to watch Kemp on that. He got 2 of those shots in midair while he was jumping, those 2 headshots, and then switch over to the Beretta really quickly. This is pretty smart play, just using your corners as well as he could. But, I mean, there's really not much he could do. There's pretty far-fetched for him to get a 4-kill right there to clutch out that. But so, yeah, I mean, there goes Rival just completely destroying right there as they don't let up a round while they're on offense. And this is going to be a really interesting second map, I think.
Right. Right before we get to you with this second game out of the best of 3, we're going to hit you with a commercial real quick, and then we'll be right back.
Alright, and we're back here from the commercial break. We do have the second map out of a potential 3 here in the loser bracket finals. Andromeda versus Rival. Rival had picked Canon to start off last map, and they ended up completely trouncing Andromeda with a very hefty score of 8-1, I think it was, overall. As it looks like Andromeda's pick will be Blackscent. They will start this off on offense, which we've seen them do really well with before in the previous matches they've had today. So, I mean, we were just talking between me and Obsolete and Ink. I think it's going to be just not as much of a swing as we would hope for. I mean, Rival has completely shown their presence against this Andromeda team who has done so well so far today in the losers bracket. It's going to really come down to how much presence of mind Andromeda can bring to this map right now and how much aggression they can bring. Myth has gone back to the scope, so not feeling comfortable with it on defense and offense for that matter on Canon, but going to try to pull himself back together and really work his way through this map on Blackscent here. Again, this is the second out of a potential 3, depending if Andromeda can pull this map out.
Yep, definitely, and we do see Andromeda probably pretty demoralized by that strong showing. I mean, Rival just stuck it to him at the very last round of that 5-man rush to bookcase. You just never see that except when you're just trying to mess with somebody and get a cheap round, and it just, I mean, that kind of play just throws a professional team off, so let's hope that Andromeda can recover from that sort of demoralization.
Yeah, I mean, that's the biggest key right now. I mean, Andromeda hasn't gotten any worse since the last match to this one as far as how capable they are with a gun. It's just come down to mental integrity at this point. I mean, everyone's still doing really well with their weapons. They're not really failing with their aim at all. We've seen a lot of really good trades back and forth. I mean, maybe Rival's a little bit more talented, but I think right now it just comes down to the fact that Rival's just functioning on all levels. All the gears are working. Their team is completely on the same page. And I think that they came out surprised Andromeda a little bit, and Andromeda just kind of let themselves fall apart, just as far as how they're approaching the game. So they didn't really need to come back and just literally just keep saying, just keep on doing what we know how to do, and things will make itself felt. Like, the presence will be there, and we'll just be able to do it wherever we can on this map. I mean, they know this map so well. They played it so well earlier today. I'd really be surprised to see them completely unprepared to play this map right now.
Definitely. They're going to try and get momentum here and really stick it to Rival. Hopefully try to do a counter knockoff of balances there. And we see Andromeda pushing up to control room. They're going to run into Su Min there, drive him off, drive Lee off as well. And Myth is going back to scoping, and he's up top in the control room, as is most of Andromeda.
Yeah, they're using all their nades off early here. I'm not exactly sure how much I like that idea, because they're not really following up with a push or anything like that. I kind of wish they would hold on to those nades before they knew for a fact a rotate was coming, as right now, I mean, the Rival team hasn't seemed to be much affected. I mean, they're still holding all their ground. The only thing that's changed is Become has come back around, and he's inside of 2 right now. But overall, everyone's holding their spots. Lee's also picking the corner from the generator over there by their spawn. And there's good shots there from Su Min on Myth. And looks like Become's going to be watching that vent. Does a lot of work there on Kimpa. So, I mean, the defense is holding really strong here for Rival. I think Andromeda is still playing a little bit too passive than where they need to be. Will Smith does come through here and does get a double kill. Completely changing the dynamic of this match right here. As the bomb is going down, he had a lot of help there, and it looks like the 3-on-2 situation. Bomb is again down right now from Will Smith. T and Seismic, last 2 up from Rival.
Definitely props to Will Smith there. He broke in basically alone. Broke it open, got a 2K. Definitely MVP of that round. Seismic just killed him, but he dropped a 3-bomb before he could. Surreal, the only one left alive. And Surreal baits Seismic out, gets him, gets the kill with only a sliver of health left, setting up 1-0 for Andromeda here.
So again, yeah, I mean, I was just about to say I thought Andromeda was going to play that a little bit too conservatively. We've seen them push straight in after throwing those set nades early on. They're waiting back and trying to get those nade picks instead of really just going for it. So, I mean, they kind of put themselves in a little bit of a hole, but, I mean, they got right out of it really quickly with the help of Will Smith completely turning that round around. He got a 3-kill last round. He's sitting at 3-1 for his team. Seismic trying to go big to get 3 kills himself. Couldn't quite do it, though, as it looks like the push is going to be at 2 again right now for Andromeda.
Yeah, we were speaking a little earlier about Andromeda being a little bit too cautious. Everybody was. There were a lot of people out of position, and Will Smith kind of went in completely rogue. Took it over by himself. Could have gone either way. Definitely a huge gamble, but it did pull off for Andromeda.
Lots of gunfire over the middle here between T and Surreal. Not much impact on either team right there. Just trying to get some shots through the walls. Not quite working out for them right now. But again, looks like Rivals is going to keep most of their focus here on 2, with Seismic and Su Min hanging out over there by 2. Myth with the bomb right now, looking for a cross pick. I don't know if he's really going to find anything right there. As actually Kimpa pushing through the middle, getting a good flank pick, getting another double kill right there on top of 1, but the bomb is over at 2 still. So again, we see a really good push there and just no follow-up right now. Because now, I mean, you have Rival coming across, T gets a pick over the middle, Seismic with a cross pick on Kimpa, but now Gravity's by himself over in 1 against 3 players who are swarming onto that bomb site.
I think they should have gotten there a lot quicker, but I think what they should have done, other than that, was get right into 2 after that baited rotate. Gravity maybe making some extra noise for them there, but they did take over 1. Rival not having pushed any farther than the mid. 3-on-3 now.
Myth taking a lot of shots right there from, I think it was T on top of the mid balcony right there. You know, it's an interesting choice. Good shot there on Myth, shooting through the smoke. As Will Smith still going huge, 4-1 for his team. He actually completely misses Myth on his screen there. Will Smith by himself, waiting for a defuse, I guess. He's gonna have to sprint his way up now to check the bomb. T's not on it, so there's a round again for Andromeda, now pulling up 2-0. It's just really interesting to see, because, I mean, the last 2 rounds, I don't really think Andromeda should have had. I think Rival made a misstep there. Andromeda not taking the right steps to get it done with the most functionality, but, I mean, still up 2-0. They gotta give him props there, as it looks like Become and Lee are having some struggles here. 0-2, not be able to find a kill, as Will Smith loving this map right now, as he's 5-2.
And definitely a good play from Andromeda, but not the stellar play we've been seeing. But now they've gone right into 2, taking it over. Excuse me, Su Min, the only one left, gets taken out there. 4-on-3 now, with the 2 site fully in control of Andromeda. Serial right around the corner from Lee, picks Lee. Big loss for Rival there. 4-on-2 now, Become getting Myth from behind. No scopes now. T killing Will Smith to even it up. 2-2. Bomb clock is ticking. 20 seconds left to go. Become getting in there. Killing. Oh my gosh. And Rival has taken over that bomb site.
And the difference is here, I mean, when you look at how could Andromeda possibly let that round get out of their hands? They've had 2 rounds where they've won where it didn't look like they had any control over those rounds at all. And then they lose a round where they had complete control over a bomb site. And what it comes down to is just knowing what your teammates are doing, flat out. Just having the game knowledge and the game awareness to know where your teammates are. Myth was changing his focus point every other second, as well as some other players, and they just got completely caught off guard. Rival was just more prepared as far as how they were going to play the bomb site compared to Andromeda when they were holding off and playing more defensive on a bomb site there, with the bomb down, in fact, too. So, I mean, it's just interesting to see. I think Andromeda is still a little bit out of their normal routine play style right now, just being down overall the Rival. As actually Andromeda is making a good stance here with some good nades, some good early picks, as it's now a 5-on-2 situation. No bomb site has been pushed yet, but Gravity is sitting in 1, and the whole team is going to move their way back around to get back into bomb site 1.
Surreal is actually going to stay there, hopefully make some noise. Lee's moving up on him. They're right around the corner from each other. Lee's gonna looks like he's gonna peek in there. It's not gonna go. He narrowly escapes a headshot from Surreal there. But in the meantime, the C4 has moved up to 1. Lee gets that good pick on Surreal.
You have no idea how crucial that pick is. That pick was so crucial, because that completely takes out the possibility of a flank right there. If Surreal were to have waited for the bomb to get down, wait maybe another 10 seconds, he could have came around from behind and put more pressure on them. But now Rival just can come in and know exactly where their focus is going to be, although Become does get taken out by Gravity, as Lee actually makes a really good shot. That was an
amazing shot. I gotta give props to Lee for that shot. That was incredible. But Kimpa does see his name through the smoke and can pop back around and put him away. 3-1 for Andromeda here.
Yeah, I mean, Andromeda making their presence felt right now on this map. I mean, I think it's really not in the fact that they're playing this map better than Rival. I think Rival's just a little bit more unprepared on this map, surprisingly enough. I mean, Andromeda's played this map a lot better today, and I think they're squeezing a few rounds out that they probably shouldn't have. I mean, there's no reason why this could not be 4-0 in favor of Andromeda right now. I mean, still 3-1 is a good place to be, but I think they still need to get on the same page as far as team awareness and just communication overall if they want to have a really good shot at beating Rival completely and not just on this map.
One thing to mention here, twice T has taken a nade spot from the green room and died. And Rival just getting, or excuse me, Andromeda just getting picked apart here from behind. Kimpa the only one left alive up the top in control room.
Trouble.
Operation success.
3-2 now after having lost that round. Great picks by Lee. A nade spot works out in Andromeda's favor, but they can't keep the pressure up long enough. Lee getting 2 picks there.
Yeah, Lee was the big X factor in that round right there. Getting 2 crucial picks on people who are trying to push. Bakam actually playing much more aggressive in that middle fridge area. He gets picked out by Myth. That's a big pick off the middle, having control of that rotate point. It looks like the focus is going to be around 1. Bomb is still playing passively back towards their spawn a little bit. But right now it looks like Rival's just going to play just as passive, just kind of sitting around their spawn and playing up top on the balcony here. I mean, it's been little things overall. That's been the changing point of all of these different rounds. I mean, if you figure that if Andromeda could have gone 4-0, I mean, you're only sitting down 4-1 right now. But they give up a round, now it's 3-2, and anything can happen here. It's little things like that that make a big difference as far as just the integrity and this discipline of how these teams are approaching these maps.
Yeah, that early pick hasn't seemed to offset Rival too much. They have stacked 1, and Andromeda's kind of picked up on that, moving the C4 out of that warehouse. Myth moving up with Gravity into the control room, Su Min being the lone defender at 2.
Yes, sir. I'm just seeing a lot of conservative play. I mean, Rival's taking a smart approach here. Don't do anything drastic. Don't make any more mistakes. Just let Andromeda make the mistake here, make them go to a spot where they don't want to and get the picks back. I mean, it's just good play overall. I mean, they have an idea where Andromeda wants to push, which was 1, so they put 2 players up there between their sniper and a very capable assault rifle and T. I mean, that's enough of a forcer that'll hold off a full push. Although right now, Su Min is about to get his butt kicked over here at 2 if he doesn't get any help. But again, now he's playing it really smart as he comes outside of the bomb site to look at who's coming around the bomb. So just smart play right there, holding off bomb site 2, and now here comes help from Seismic. Just good play right now from Rival. Just really smart, knowing exactly how you can play the map to your advantage. Seismic is a good pick there on Gravity, totally changing the dynamic once again. 25 seconds left on the clock. Seismic with a double kill, Lee with a crossing shot right there, over by 1. This round is pretty much over right now for Andromeda.
Will Smith plants the bomb, but he's 1 on 4 here. Not much he can do to stop it, and yet he will steamroll in there. 3-3, Rival coming back from, I believe it was a 3-0 deficit.
Yeah, 3-0.
Charge defused. Operation success.
And I think a lot of this has to do with just Andromeda not being in the right mindset right now. They're not playing the game the way they know how to play it. They're kind of going at it and trying to find ways to make themselves work against Rival. I mean, they're playing this game at Rival's pace right now. They don't have the control of the game as much as they did against Wild Player Perform. They're letting themselves succumb to the pace that Rival wants to set. I mean, they got the early pick and they're not pushing the way they normally do. I think it's just a little bit of nerves kicking in. They don't want to lose this match. They want to move on to the finals. On a dethrone Rival from getting in that spot right there in the finals that they have, like the last 3, I think, CGOs, they've been in there against DefkoN. I mean, they want the chance, and I think they're just not going at it the way they should. They're not really going for it as, this is our team, we're going to play the way we know how to play. They're playing Rival's game right now. It's pretty much how it's going.
Yep, and I think if they were to try something fast, I don't think Rival would have the setup to deal with it right now. Maybe a fast push to control room, or maybe one of those mid pushes we saw. One of those, just some really oddball play, but they work so well at throwing people off. And Gravity opens the door right into a shot from T in the face. 4 on 3 now. Andromeda has managed to break out of the warehouse. Still being a man up. Will Smith going big, taking down 2, and most importantly, Lee. And that's the round for Andromeda. Definitely a slow, synchronized play. but they moved fast when they needed to, and I think that's what netted them the round win there.
And that's the way we've seen them play all day. As when we saw them play Wild play earlier, they did everything like that. They're very synchronized. Surreal had a great headshot on Become over into the that little hole in the wall there, that little window spot over the middle. And that's what you need to do. And now look at this. Seismic's going to play aggressive. He's going to play a different way than he has before to change the momentum of this game. And he gets the first pick there on Will Smith, who's been huge for his team so far. And now Sumin again following up with another kill. It's a 5-on-3 situation. Andromeda's kind of caught right now in a conservative spot, not even with the bomb in their hands.
Kimpa misses Sumin right there, but Surreal to the rescue, getting a ton of kills. Sumin will take him out in the back. Gravity right there, gets a call out on the nade. Sumin knows he's there. He's got to step back to reload. 2-on-1 here, Lee still being up. Lee has, however, dropped his scope, is rifling right now. With that para, he gets a peek off on Gravity, lands a couple shots, and Gravity is almost dead. All it's going to take is one para shot from Sumin here. And he will put down Sumin, but reload as he walks around the corner into Lee. Really, really bad tactical decision to reload there.
Yeah, and especially knowing that Lee was probably going to come around the backside there. Definitely not the way you wanted to approach that. But I mean, if you look at the scoreboard right now, let's just take a look. Seismic's sitting at 11-6. T's 10-5. Lee is 9-5. Sumin's 9-6. Become is the only one not past even. He's still got 5 kills, that one, only 6 deaths. I mean, just everyone's putting in their work where they need to be putting them in. Everyone's helping out. They got great crossfires when they need to have them. And it's just completely changed the dynamic. Become now actually going even with 2 kills right there off the bat. And so, I mean, everyone's doing their work they need to be doing on Rival. It's a 4-4 score, but I mean, Andromeda should be having this map a lot more under their hands than they do right now, I think.
It's true, and Andromeda just made a huge blunder. Moving into the warehouse without clearing it, Become was in there, was able to drop a 2K. Fortunately, through a combination of good play and some nade spots, they were able, Andromeda was able to come back for that. But Seismic is right behind Andromeda, and he is not, he's in quite a position to just put the game away for Rival here.
Yeah, this is a huge play right here from Seismic, coming all the way around the backside. Will Smith doesn't have a clue that he's there.
Seismic did just make a footstep, but Will Smith did not hear it. C4 is now down in front of the warehouse. T gets Kimpa, and Sumin puts Gravity away.
I mean, it comes down to 2 things right now. Andromeda's mentally disturbed by how they're playing Rival. That and Rival has completely taken over the map control. I mean, they're pushing around the map. Right now, Seismic and Become are going to push up fast with their SMGs. And they're probably going to win it. Yeah, they got 2 kills right there off the bat, making this a 4-5 situation. As far as rounds go, I mean, it's a 3-on-5 right now in favor of Rival, and just smart play. This is smart play from Rival.
Well, we do see Andromeda losing 3 members early on through a combination of pushes. I will remind you that Black Scent is a heavily defensive map. Andromeda, their defense here is amazing, but will it stand the test of their morale, because they are just being put out to dry by Rival. Kimpa, the only one left alive, 1v5. He's not going to be able to get anything done. Sumin comes in from behind and makes it 6-4 for Rival. And that's halftime. And just what do you think of that? Stellar play from Rival there.
I mean, I don't want to say that I called it, but I think Andromeda's just mentally not there right now. They're not playing the game they know how to play. They're playing at Rival's pace on a map that they're picked. I mean, this is their pick of a map. So, I mean, I gotta just, I'm kind of shaking my head right now on just how Andromeda's playing. I know they're better than what they're showing right now. I think they just got super frustrated in Canon, a map they're not comfortable on. I mean, it's just a mental approach, really. When you go into a situation where it's not a map you like to play, it's the first map out of 3. You just got to go for rounds. It's pretty much how it goes. Especially when you're playing against a great team like Rival, a map that they know super well. You just got to go for rounds. You got to make your presence felt. Like, hey, this is your map, and we're going to kind of toss you guys around a little bit on it. At least make our presence felt, not just get steamrolled, which they ended up doing. I mean, and it came down to little things. I mean, a lot of those rounds that they lost in Canon were close. They just didn't realize it. They let the numbers get ahead of themselves, and they just just kept folding on rounds they could have possibly won. And then we saw the same thing here on Black Sun. This is a map that Andromeda has a good handle on when they approach it the way they know how to approach it. But they're just not doing that right now. They're kind of going at it like they've never played the map before, and just kind of working around with strategies they kind of just figured out instead of knowing what they're doing and knowing how they're going to play it. So that's the biggest impact right now as far as Andromeda's just mishaps on this map right now.
Definitely. All right, we're going to go to a commercial here for a minute, and we'll be back with half number 2 in a little while. All right, well, we're back with the second half of Rival versus Andromeda. We did just see Rival beat Andromeda on their offensive 6-4. Again, I'm Obsolete, and this is Tilt, and he's going to give you a rundown of what we've seen so far if you're just tuning in.
Yeah, I mean, this is the second map out of 3, possibly. Rival had a good strong hold on Canon. That was their choice. Ended up winning that map, a complete stomp fest, 8-1. And now Andromeda picking their map, which is Black Scent. I've had a lot of work on it today, as they've played it earlier once, and just kind of mentally breaking down right now. It looks a lot like they're just not playing the game they know how to play. They're kind of just finding themselves in rivals' hands. They're playing at rivals' pace, and I mean, it doesn't matter what the type of game is, whether it's an actual sport, or if it's AVA, or if it's whatever. You start conforming to other people's pace, and you're not going to have a good shot of getting out of it. Rival has really good control over this map right now. Now they're switching over to the defensive side, or on offense side. They're on the offensive side now. And we've seen really good play overall. They've switched up their strategies. They've had 2 SMGs rolling at once. They've had just the 1 scope and just all assaults. They just have a good makeup overall and just how they're designing their team as far as round to round goes. And on the flip side, Andromeda just doesn't seem to be prepared at all right now for this match. I don't know if it's an endurance thing. They've already played 2 matches earlier today. But just I think overall, I think between just the both of us, we've expected more from Andromeda just overall.
Well, we will see though. Andromeda's famous their defense here, it has just been staggeringly good. We saw it was great against Wild Play earlier today. So we're hoping after the short break, getting some cigarettes and Jello. Hopefully we'll see some good waking up by Andromeda, because they haven't quite shown their good game at all versus Rival yet.
Yeah, and this should be a match that's a little bit closer. I mean, if you're Andromeda, you're looking at this match in a few different ways. A, I want to get to the grand finals. I want to be able to play DefkoN. I want to put my team up there as a top 3, top 2 team, undeniably. Right now, they're playing Rival as if they're scared of them, instead of just going for it and being all out. And it just says a lot about it. It's just a mental approach. Like we said before, their gunning skills haven't gotten any worse. They're not getting any worse at this game as they play longer and longer. They're just falling apart as a team right now, and it's not even in big ways. It's just little ways that are costing rounds, and those rounds add up and they add up, and the pressure keeps getting put on them. They just keep crumbling under it. It's just becoming a snowball effect, really. And they really just need to step up. They really need to just relax, come into this game. They have offense. They can control the pace right now, or on defense, they can try to hold off Rival's pace. Is what I meant to say, and just make their presence felt more. I mean, they have some room to work with. They do need to win this side. 6-4 was the last half of this map in favor of Rival. So, I mean, pretty much what they cannot do is let up 5 rounds, and that's a lot to work with, especially being on defense, a side that Andromeda has done very well on before. So,
all right, we see Rival looking to take over control room immediately, uncontested. Really strange by Andromeda to let them push so far, not contest them at control room. But Andromeda is very balanced, staying back. Kempen, Will Smith defending that too. Su Min making an interesting decision, creeping up to the office door with that bomb. Not going to go any farther than that though.
You know, I can't say I disagree with the idea to not push into control room if you're Andromeda. I mean, the last thing you want to happen is have this half of the map start off you being down a player and you're again faltering into the pace that Rival wants to set. I think Rival is kind of testing that as well, the fact that they pushed up quickly and now they're all falling back. They want to see how Andromeda is going to decide to play, and right now it's conservative, which is fine because Myth has done so well over at one with that scope, picking over the middle and picking through the crossbars into Warehouse. Surreal has done a very good job up top in the balcony, and I mean Will Smith and Kimpa have done a really good job holding off bomb site too from inside and around the site. So I can't say disagree. They're just trying to, you know, have this map fall into their hands rather than trying to make something happen. There's nothing wrong with that at all. A lot of smoke's coming out over here to 1. Doors open. Sumin's going to come through. An early set nade there from T onto Myth will definitely change how they're going to play this, as the push is coming to 1 right now.
Gravity gets a nice shot off, but he does get killed. Picks are flying fast and furious, but Andromeda is taking the worst of it. Kimpa is alone. Headshots become there. Really close now. Him and Lee and T versus Kimpa.
Yeah, Kimpa's sitting with very low HP. Trying to actually get the sniping cross here, as he knows that Lee is actually sitting over the middle. He got a shot from him. Didn't get tagged or anything, though.
T might have backed off with the C4 to go to 2, but he's gonna commit to 1 here. Lee moving up mid to support him.
Yeah, 15 seconds left. He didn't get a chance to see T cross over.
Apologies. Roger.
And Lee's going to be right around in that perfect spot for a sniper. Kimpa's going to come around the corner here. Lee moves off a bit. Man, Kimpa walks right into it.
I mean, to be real, there was not much he could do. It was too late to go back for an assault rifle. He's going to have to try to take that bomb site with a scope, which he's not used yet today. So, I mean, I can't really say I put him in too much of a spot of completely failing that clutch. There wasn't much he could do there. But that's big, though. Getting that first round for Rival, that's huge as far as what they need to do as far as taking this away and going to meet DefkoN, a team that has just been so successful against Rival in at least the last few tournaments. I mean, the Rival's going to have to definitely show they can play this map. So far, they're doing a pretty good job of it, considering this is not their map choice. They did get side choice, so they did get to start on defense where they wanted to. They did a really good job. I mean, they won that side 6-4, which is not the most convincing win on a pretty defensive-sided map, but at the same time, can't complain with the performance they're putting out right now.
Yeah, we did see Surreal actually. We did see Andromeda take over control room. Surreal moving up to throw him off at mid. Will Smith just got an amazing dual nade there.
I would really like to know where he threw that nade from, because that went inside of the warehouse from right around their spawn. That was a fantastic nade.
Definitely really good, making it 4-on-2 now. Picks Myth there, and they've got the bomb site almost. They're trying to move up, trying to go through Will Smith and Gravity. Lee picks up a para. Become gets yet another kill there. Man, Andromeda had that, and they just about threw it away. Lee's up on top of that site with the C4. Kimpa saving Andromeda there, putting him away 1-1.
Yeah, it's pretty huge. Become had a really good stand right on top of one with that SMG, coming around, making his presence felt, commanding that all the attention was going to be put on him. Lee helping him out, and really doing a good job of taking that bomb site. Andromeda doing a good job of holding off, though. Kimpa getting that last headshot. Really big plays right there for them. Will Smith making the first pick there as there's a full rush into 2. Kimpa in a great spot. Here's that 2 defense we know and love from Andromeda, as it's now a 5-on-3 situation. Lee missing a shot right there over the middle. Although, I mean, Rival will take the bomb site, but at what a cost we have to imagine. As this is good play right now overall. Big plays across the board from Andromeda, coming back with the rotates. Good holds from their first line of defense there in 2. That's just good play. It's the Andromeda we know and we want to see more of, I would have to say.
Definitely. Will Smith getting that first kill. Rival being smooth, pulling him out of his usual defensive spot that he loves so much and that he plays so well. But the cost was just too high. He got an early kill, and Rival was able to take over the back of 2, but not actually get into 2 until it was too late. Rival setting up inside the warehouse with that C4. Couple of early nades not resolving anything, but Seismic did take 99% of a nade and is at just a sliver of HP. Nevertheless, he pushes up into that control room with authority, only being 1 shot. Making Kimpa eat a couple of shots there.
Yeah, I was going to say, he knows that he hit Kimpa up pretty well, and that was a lot of the driving force behind his idea of pushing right there. It's smart. It's smart. It really is. I mean, at the worst you could do, I mean, he's pretty much going to have to figure he's going to die either way, whether it's in the next gunfight or if it was from that battle right there with Kimpa. So why not try to get the final blows on Kimpa right there? Force Kimpa back into the site. He's playing now really passively in the bomb site. He's kind of playing right by the staircase, just playing the backside of the stairs, trying to do whatever he can to, you know, not fall off of this bomb site, and really hold it strong for his team. As there's a lot of action going over middle now, as Myth actually did eventually drop that scope. He's now playing with an assault rifle. 4-on-2 situation right now in favor of Rival. A lot of room to work with. Kimpa being stranded in 2, Gravity stranded in 1. Gravity does have the scope now for Andromeda, and Kimpa, as we know, low on HP. The only player with really any damage is T for Rival, and he's sitting pretty low. And Seismic again too, having low HP as well.
Gravity and Kimpa getting kills, but Rival has managed to break in 2 members up. Gravity versus Sumin, who has very low health, and Lee, who also has very low health. Should advise Gravity to pick up a gun. I don't know why his team isn't advising him to that, but it doesn't work out for him, and he will get put down, making it 2-2.
And then the biggest factor right now is Lee. He's 6 and 2. He's holding down a lot of different corners with that scope. He's doing a very, very good job offensively with that sniper rifle. A 2-2 is huge for Rival right now. They don't want to fall behind. They want to at least go round for round Andromeda. And they're doing that so far. They're doing a good job pushing around the map, still keeping somewhat control of the pace of this match. Andromeda not doing as poorly as they had before, as they actually get a few traded, but they're keeping them in an advantage 4-on-3.
Surreal and Become getting a couple kills in mid, trading there. Rival's taking the worst of it. 4-on-3 now for Andromeda. Surreal is completely lit up at the office window, though. Gravity gets a great pick on Seismic on the one site. And now it's 4-on-2. Become and T both mid. Become getting a great pick outside on Gravity.
And that was a pretty epic shot. That was a huge pick right there, too. Let's see if Myth picked up the scope. No, Myth is going to stick with the para. Kind of surprised, actually, because they have a really good foothold on the map. They have good map control right now if they choose to take it. Myth is great with that sniper rifle on the cross, but he's not resorting to it right now. So, I mean, Will Smith going to have to take the brute of the force here, defending 2 on his own. Surreal is very, very low. He's sitting up in balcony in the window right now. He's pretty confident there's no nades left on the other team, which is a fair assumption, as there's been a lot of nades going back and forth. Become does have one frag nade left, but it's very doubtful he's going to use it on the window. So Will Smith in a good spot here too, playing a little bit passively on the outside of the bomb site. Myth is going to hold off on one, and Surreal kind of playing right at the door right now, is sitting up in balcony. So good spot for them right now, as far as just the defensive makeup they have right now. As wow, the Surreal is just sitting in that little corner spot where you can just barely see anything, and gets the headshot on Become. That's huge, because now T's left by himself with just about 75% of his health left.
He's now inside the site. He's trapped in there by 3 members. Actually, just 2. Surreal's gone around behind. Myth misses all the shots on T. But Will Smith will get justice there for that. Take him down. 3-2 for Rival. Want to say that brings up 8-7, and it does. 8-7 in the entire map.
Yeah, the magic number right now. The magic number for Rival's 5. They need to get 5 to win out this. And I mean, again, if they can go round for round, that's more than okay for Rival right now, as they do get the early push onto 1. They're taking a good foothold of it. Myth is the only player left right now on top of 1, and he falls too. So now we have a situation where it looks like Rival's going to completely take over this one bomb site. Plenty of nades left. They can just kind of toss around.
Surreal gets a nice headshot there. Gets another one, but it probably isn't going to be enough. He's now alone on 3 with that bomb down on the site. It's planted. He's got to move in there. Man, somebody's picking through that smoke. That's just brutal.
Again, just round for round, Rival's taking that mindset right now. I mean, obviously you want to get more rounds than you lose, but at the same time, the fact that they can afford to go round for round with Andromeda on their map is just, it's so big. It's so big as a team knowing you're up.
Myth and Gravity have elected to push into the warehouse. Nobody's there, though, because Rival is moving up into 2, is already almost there. Will Smith gets an early shot on Seismic, but Surreal is down from mid, from Become.
Yeah, this is good trading overall, just to get positions of the map for Rival. And they got the early picks over at 2. They got a good pick over the middle. I mean, Myth is not doing well with his assault rifle. I mean, he's not much of a factor right now as far as a defensive pressure, which it is now down to Gravity and Myth for Andromeda. Gravity with that scope, Myth with the para. Bomb is down from Sumin on Rival, and it's going to be a tough take right now, as Rival has a very good strong hold of 2 right now.
Myth gets a headshot off on T, but Become takes down the scope, and Sumin gets Myth out of that back hall. And Rival only has to win 1 more round now. On the offensive, on Andromeda is probably their best map. It just shows just how demoralized they've gotten.
Yeah, I mean, you can still see the fact that Myth is not electing to stick with the scope. It says a lot about how Andromeda feels against playing this Rival team. I mean, Rival is now playing with their pace. They're pushing all over the map. I mean, maybe not so successfully right here, as Will Smith is still holding down much of the weight for his team. But Rival will eventually get into 1 here. We're sitting with a 3-on-2 situation. Made that a 2-on-2 situation, as Sumin's still going big with his para. Looks like he's going to try to get that bomb down, as Kimpa and Surreal are the only 2 players left for Andromeda.
they are both 1 HP, so Kimpa takes down Seismic. Sumin is the only one left, and he is very, very lit. And he does have the C4 on top of that plat. Andromeda doesn't want to rush him. They want to get the time out, run out that time.
Sumin's being smart here, though. I mean, he's got to figure, if he stays on top of that platform, he's going to have to go against 2 players from different sides. I mean, he picked the wrong place to look there, but the fact that he's going to limit himself to having a one-on-one battle is a lot smarter than trying to get that bomb down with low HP and trying to fend off 2 players. So that's another thing you can see. I mean, you see these more experienced players doing. It's just picking good fights. They're using the map to their advantage. They know exactly how it's going to be played if I do this or if I do that. So why not put myself in a best situation to actually be able to clutch this? So it's good play there from Sumin. Not much you can do with low HP. But, I mean, it's just still good play from Rival. Just mental integrity individually and as a team overall for Rival. Andromeda's definitely lacking in that area right now as far as how they're playing and approaching this map, especially against a great team like Rival. Good overnade right there from Surreal on the platform, reaching over to the ramp side, eventually Sumin with that drop nade. But, I mean, still Rival's not looking to back down from this push, as they do have good control over the control room over by 2.
And definitely, Rival, they just look like a force here. Lee, I think Andromeda won that map. Lee got taken out immediately by Surreal on one of his mid sniper pushes. Really unconventional, was a gamble. Didn't work out for Rival that time, but Lee is looking to go big this time. Starts it off by killing Kimpa. I don't know if I agree with that peak of Kimpa right there. I think he should have stayed back a little bit more, but it's just Lee's just very unpredictable.
And it's funny that if you look at how they actually played that, they had T and Become going towards the left side of the bridge there. So that leaves only one area for Lee to look, and that's in that right hallway. And what does he do? Looks in that right hallway, gets to pick. I mean, I can't really say I blame Kimpa for peeking that, just because it's a good spot for him to peek. He's been doing really well with it so far as the whole day goes. But, I mean, it's just good knowledge from Rival, just knowing exactly where they need to be looking and how they're supposed to be playing as a team.
And Myth definitely gets a good flank up on Lee. Become kind of letting him by there. Really poor choice or just a missed assignment. But Become gets killed too. T is now alone right beneath Office, right beneath the hole in the wall here. And he looks like he's going to, with 30 seconds on the clock, he's going to try to move up there. Surreal is right there. Not watching the stairs though. So T gets a double kill, triples it up on Myth. Gravity is the only one left alive. T just a sliver of health, and if Gravity gets in there, he will be able to stop T from planting.
Oh wow!
Really close
off the kill. Yeah, it was a close battle right there. T playing really smart there. He's known Surreal to play that middle balcony. So he's going to go check on that first. Gets that. Ends up finding Myth sitting just right under him as he's jumping. Gets the kind of a lotto headshot, I got to say. Just mid-air getting that lotto headshot. But still, whatever. It pays off. He gets the kills. Just doing a good job moving around the map, knowing exactly how he needs to play this clutch. Especially with time running out. It's a good play. Just really impressed by how this Rival team's been playing individually.
Definitely. I mean, as a professional player, a lot of people just don't understand that there's not a ton of situations you can win, but picking those situations, going for it, and trying to make the best of them with the information you have, that's what you got to get good at, and that's what you have to strive for, rather than, expecting to win every situation. You just have to get the best possible trade-off for the amount of damage your team's going to take.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's just something that comes with experience. It's not something you can teach. I mean, obviously watching it happen is one thing, and understanding the idea of it, but I mean, the only really situation that you can actually maximize that out is just by playing and just getting that experience, especially against better players. I mean, it's not to say that T, as I'm looking at him, thinks that this Andromeda team is predictable, because, I mean, he just knows general areas of where people have been playing. He's been paying attention with his teammates and how he's been playing, and I mean, that obviously sets up how he can clutch. At the same time, he can set up overnades like he's doing right now on top of one. He knows that people have been playing on the right side of the bomb site, so what is he going to do? Throw a nade and throw a bunch of smokes and try to get that guy in a position. It's just smart play.
Lee getting a couple of nice picks there, killing Myth and Will Smith. Rivals taking over one. T shooting completely through that smoke, gets a headshot on Gravity through that smoke. Kimpa gets a lot of damage into Sumin, but can't put him away, and that's the game for Rival.
Your efforts
Andromeda loses by, what, 2 rounds?
Yeah, 2 rounds. That's all they needed to get that back and go to a third map. So there it is, best out of 2 situation, won by Rival. And I mean that's wonderful. The fact that they can come out into a map they don't really know very well. They don't play at least as aggressively as they did on Canon, and they still go round to round for a team with a team that knows this map really well. I mean, not to say that Andromeda showed up with their best showing today, but on that map against a great team such as Rival, a lot of frustration we've seen from Myth saying out in public chat. The fact that he's not even using a scope on a lot of things, it just screams the fact that they're just frustrated and they're letting them not play the game they know how to play. And that's just really what it comes down to. As simple as a concept as it is, it's so huge. The fact that they can go through and just not play maps the way they know how to play them. So.
Yep, we're going to go to commercial here, and then before the grand finals start, we're going to have a couple of interviews for you guys. So hang tight. We'll see you in a little bit.